Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Sunshine Study. I'm Dr. Rebecca, the Lifejoy coach and author, and our title today was suggested by YouTube, so please come subscribe, watch, like and support us. Let me read you this. The transformative power of writing letters to your future self for clarity. So, the reason this title jumped out at me is because I have been a great letter writer. And what do you think about letters? They're very romantic, aren't they? It's a lovely thing, a handwritten note that comes through the door. And it's a connection that goes through a lifetime, doesn't it? Through generations. Now, there's lots of things about writing letters to your 16-year-old self, to your past self, what you would say to them from your experience so far. And many of us are a long way from being 16. But many of us would say the same kind of things. And I mentioned this in my first book, which is down there. I'll just show you. There you are, Lifejoy Manual for Resilient Living. And I actually put that letter in. And there were several key points in it that made me reflect on my life at this age. And the key points were very similar to the things that I think other people would say is, you're precious, go gently, there'll be a lot of challenges, there'll be a lot of love, there'll be a lot of joy, you'll endure more than you think you can cope with, and just hang on to your precious values and yourself. That's what you would say, wouldn't you? You would want somebody to say to you when you're 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever, that you are valuable, you have the qualities you need to cope, and you can thrive. But realistically, there will be some challenges, and God willing, there will be growth and blessings from those challenges. So really what those letters are doing is reassuring us now what we really needed to know then, but giving us a little bit of loving pride that we've managed and survived. We might have even thrived. So think about the tone that you would talk to your younger self with. Because here's the really magical thing, is if you actually wrote a letter to your younger self, you are living that every day. Because the way you speak to yourself now, you would want to speak in a kindly manner, in an encouraging manner, not in denigration, negativity, nastiness or bullying. You would want to say, come on, my friend, come on, my love, you've done well. This is unfair, but I'll help you through it. Think about the tone. So it's a really important point. There's a phrase in therapy that is used called the inner critic. And that's the inner voice that you hear when you think. And what is that like? So there's the inner voice, but is that voice critical? Does it say, oh, you stupid, lazy thing, you always get this wrong, you're useless, everybody else thinks you're worthless? Or does it say, oh, my pet, that was a lot to endure. You've done very well and I'm proud of you? Or does it say, right, hang on, don't be rash, let's just think about this carefully. Let's work our way through and do the best we can. There's a huge difference in those tones. So what tone would you write in that letter to yourself, and what is the tone that you're living out now? Because I think the two are directly connected. Now, the thought about writing a letter to our future self is the other end of that spectrum. Now, here's the really brave thing. I said in that first book, write your eulogy. What do you want people to say at your funeral about you? How do you want them to say they made them feel? The people are going to say you were utterly reliable, utterly wise, utterly kind, really good at tech, and you helped loads of people? Or are they going to say to you they had a meteoric career, they were very tough, they made lots of money, they did really well, they went on lots of holidays and they had too many shoes? Interesting. Now, I've written hundreds and hundreds of eulogies, and I worked as a Christian celebrant for a decade, specialising in funeral loving services. So I can see people's lives from a different perspective because I've written about so many people's lives. And the thing that is through them all is the loving tone of the letter you would write to your 16-year-old self. Because the things that really matter are never external things. They're how well people loved, how likeable they were, how they kept trying, how they were gracious and brave and lovely and funny and talented, and they made the most of the gifts that were given to them. And even when life was very difficult, they kept loving and they kept trying. That's really the very best kind of eulogy, with a few daft stories and things that connect us all and some loving thoughts to go forward. So a good eulogy is the same as a letter to your 16-year-old self and a letter to your 76-year-old self and 116-year-old self. It's all the same thing. So where would you like to write that letter to? What would you like to say to yourself? And it could be really simple that, you'd like to have done some traveling, you've done some brave things, you've endured some things, but it's easy for those things to become goals. But there's nothing wrong with that either. But if we make them values, once we get our values right, the goals will come. And in the end, writing a letter to ourselves is perhaps the precursor to writing letters to other people. And I've been to visit many, many people at their end of their lives. And I've often said to them, could you write a letter to your loved ones? And that is giving them something that you perhaps can't say verbally. It's telling them how proud they are of you, how much they've loved you, how strong they believe you are, and how valuable. So they are the best kinds of letters, lifetime letters. So if we write a card or a letter or a note or a postcard to somebody, if we can say kind, wise things, they are the letters of life as well as living them, because it's very tangible. So if you can find a funny card, a loving card, a beautiful card, and think about something that's important to say. And I think the most important things to say are, thank you for being my friend. You have been wonderful. I'm so blessed to have you. I've loved doing these things with you, and I've loved watching you grow and being part of everything. I look forward to our friendship to come. I look forward to our marriage to come. I look forward to being your sister, your brother, your best friend, your cheerleader, your encourager. And most importantly, I love you very, very much. Thank you for loving me so well. Pretty good letter to write. So I hope that helps, my friend, because we want to think about the past, we want to think about the present, we want to think about the future. But the golden thread through all of those, through the letters of our lives, is the goodness that we share, the joy we generate for ourselves and other people, and the courage that we show throughout it all. So take care, my friends. God bless, be safe. Welcome again to the Sunshine Study. You're always wanted here. Please like, comment and subscribe, and tell me about the great letters of your life. Take care. God bless. Be safe.